Okay, hello friends at home. Today we're going to be doing Module 4, Lesson 5, Concept Development. Your friends at school are not here. I'm doing this one on my own, so I'll be doing a little walking back and forth underneath Elmo. But let's look at our learning targets so we know exactly what our lesson is going to be about. It says we can form rectangles by tiling with unit squares to make arrays. And I've got arrays underlined because that's really important that we understand what an array is. And hopefully you do, because we've been using them a lot ever since we started multiplication. So arrays, remember the other day we had arrays with stars in them. A lot of times we draw our arrays with circles. The important thing about arrays is they're made of rows and columns, okay? Well, we're going to be using tiling to create rectangles that turn out to be arrays, okay? So if I look at this rectangle right here that's drawn, and this will be on your Seesaw template, I know a couple things about this rectangle. I know that this side is 2 inches, and I know that the area is 12 square inches, okay? So if I know this side is 2 inches, then that means I need 2 tiles here, doesn't it? So I'm going to draw 2 tiles. And now I've got my 2-inch side. But what I don't know is I don't know how long that side is. I just know in total I'm going to need 12 square inch tiles. Well, if you think about it, whenever we do multiplication and division, and we have a total, and we're looking for the other factor, we can use skip counting, can't we? So we could keep tiling this and putting columns with 2 tiles in it until we get to our total of 12 square inches. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've got 2 here, and now I'm going to do another 2, and now I've got 4. I'm going to do another 2. Whoops, didn't do that very straight. Another 2, and now I've got 6. Another 2. And now I've got 8, another 2, and now I've got 10, and then my last 2, and now I have 12. So what did we do? We turned that into a rectangular array, given the fact that we knew there would be 2 rows of tiles because of the 2-inch side. And when we skip counted, we found there are other side lengths. Now all we have to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other side length is 6 inches. Pretty nifty, huh? So, on your template, I want you to do exactly what we did here. You're going to use tiling and skip counting to complete the rectangle and label the missing side length. So, just like we did, you'll turn this side into 2 tiles and then skip count by 2s until you get a total of 12 tiles. Maybe yours will look a little better than mine. Remember, when you're on the Seesaw, you can erase if your lines don't work out well the first time. Okay? Now, and if you look at this, remember, we can skip count our array another way to check our work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 plus 6 is 12. So we can skip count on that array 2 different ways. This is called, boys and girls, a rectangular, because it is a rectangular array. Okay, and it's array because they're squares in nice, neat rows and columns. Okay, that's your first example. I'm going to run back to my Elmo and pull up our second example. We're going to do 3 together, and then I'm going to have you do the last one independently on Seesaw. Alright, here's our second rectangle, and remember, we're going to be tiling it. What do we know in this one? We know this side length is 5 inches, and if we look at this number sentence down here, we see 5 times something equals 15. So 15 is our total. And if we want to know how many 5s are in 15, what do? We skip count. So 5, 10, 15. So it looks like we're going to need 3 columns. But let's go ahead and fill in this first side. It's 5 inches, so we will need 5 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have my one side. Remember to find the side length and count the tiles, or you count the tiles, or if you have the side length, you will draw the many tiles. So I have 5 tiles there. So I'm going to put my 5 there because I'm going to skip count. Okay, I'm going to do another column with 5. So now I have 10 tiles. And then my last one, if I do one more, I will have 15. Then my tiles are not very even there. Okay, and yours don't have to be perfect, okay? So 5, 10, 15. Now, after I've tiled that array, I can count my tiles to get the length of the top. 1, 2, 3. The other side is 3 inches. And I knew that because 5 times 3 is 15. So all those things are interconnected, and I have 5 rows of 3, 5 equal groups of 3, a total of 15. If you want to, you can skip count your rows, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It looks just like an array that we've used before, but now it's just made out of square units. And now we can say the area of that rectangle is 15 square units. So we can write this number sentence, now that we know we can use multiplication. We can say area equals 5 inches, which is this side length, or the number of rows, times 1, 2, 3, the number of squares in each row, or that side length. 5 inches times 3 inches equals 15 square inches. So what I want you to do on your template is I want you to tile your rectangle just like we did. I want you to show your skip counting, 5, 10, 15, and then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Make sure you fill in your empty or your missing side length, and then fill in the 2 number sentences down here. Okay? What did we just do? We skip counted by 5s to get a total area of 15 square inches. All right, we're going to do another one together. This one will be just slightly different. We're going to have different knowns this time. Aha. This one looks a little tricky. I have no numbers, do I? I don't have a total. I don't have any labeled side lengths. But what I can do is I can count my tiles, count with those side lengths. This is what we would call an incomplete array. And we are going to tile it to figure out the total area of the rectangle. So let's start with this side here. Remember, I can find the side length by counting the number of tiles on a side. So 1, 2, 3 tiles. So that is 3 inches. And then I can find this side length by counting the tiles going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 7 inches. So first thing we're going to do is label the side lengths and complete tiling the rectangle. Well, we labeled the side lengths. Now we have to complete tiling. So I know I need another row here. And then I'm going to tile that row. There should be 7 in that row too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I need one more row down here. And I'm going to tile that. And now we have a nice, completely tiled rectangular array. Right? It says show how you can skip count 2 ways on the rectangular array to find the area. So one thing we can skip count by is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can skip count by 7s. That's a side length. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 7 more is 21. We could also skip count by 3s, can't we though? Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you know your skip counting, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So either way, we get a total of 21. All right? And then it says complete the number sentence below. Well, what is the area of that rectangle? Well, I skip counted. Each time I found 21. So the area is 3 inches, which is the number of rows, times 7 inches, which is the number of squares in each row, gives me a total of 21 square inches is the total area of that array. All right, so we're just using our knowledge of arrays and our skip counting to tile these arrays and make complete arrays and find the area. All right, the next one you're going to do on your own. I'm going to introduce it to you though. Okay, this one I'd like you to try independently. So we know two things. We know that this top side of the rectangle is 6 inches long because we have 6 tiles. What we don't know is how long this side is, okay? We do know that the total will be 24. So if you think about it, you can skip count by 6, 12, 18, 24. And so how many rows will you need? Well, it looks like you're going to need 4 rows. But what I want you to do is add rows, and each time skip count by 6, 12, and you're going to keep adding rows of 6 until you get to 24. And then I'm going to have you label the unknown side length, and then finally write the number sentence to find the total area. Okay? So please complete this rectangular array and write the number sentence to find the total area. What we are doing is we're using skip counting and rectangular arrays to find the total area of rectangles. Okay? Thanks so much, boys and girls. Make sure you complete all 4 of those templates for us today and submit it to your Q2.